how solid is the concept we call reality? When you wake up in the morning, how sure are you that your name, your past, even the country you live in are still exactly where they should be? For most of us, the world is a fixed place. Maps do not change, borders are clear. But sometimes, the universe stutters. The system glitches. Just like a broken video game, it drops a character that shouldn't exist into a time where they don't belong. History, July 1954. Location, Tokyo Haneda Airport. It is a hot and humid summer day. Planes are landing, passengers are entering passport control. Everything looks ordinary. However, a man entering the queue that day was about to initiate one of modern history's greatest locked room mysteries. That man was not a spy, not a smuggler, and not a criminal. He was simply a businessman wanting to return home. But there was a small problem. His home did not exist in our world. Today, we open the file on the event, often cited as the greatest proof of parallel universes, an event recorded in police reports but unexplainable by logic. Who was the man from Taured? How did he evaporate from a locked hotel room on the 15th floor without leaving a trace? And most importantly, perhaps he wasn't a ghost. Maybe he was a mistake the system decided to delete. Welcome to Intrigues History. Today, we question reality. Let's get into the details. The year is 1954, a period when Japan was just opening up to the outside world and airports were strictly controlled. At the customs checkpoint, a stylishly dressed, middle-aged, bearded man appears. He looks completely European. He speaks French, but his Japanese is also quite fluent. He hands his passport to the officer. The officer takes the passport and flips through the pages. Everything looks normal. The photo is fine. The visas are fine. But the officer's eyes get stuck on the country section. The passport reads, Kingdom of Taured. The officer pauses. Taured? He asks. The man looks calm, as if to say, yes, why are you surprised? The officer has never heard of such a country before. He thinks maybe it's a small island nation. Maybe its name has changed. But following protocol, he takes the man aside and calls his superiors. This is where things start to get weird. The man taken to the interrogation room starts getting annoyed. What is this nonsense, he says. I travel the world with this passport. And he is right. The passport is full of stamps. There are stamps for London, Paris, Rome, and even previous entries and exits for Tokyo. So, this passport was considered valid at this very airport before. So what changed now? Authorities bring a world map. They tell the man, show us your country. Confidently, the man places his finger on the European continent, right on the border between Spain and France. Here it is, he says, the Kingdom of Taured. It has been there for 1,000 years. But where the man's finger rests, it does not say Taured. There is a small principality called Andorra there. The man looks at the map, his face turning pale white. Andorra? What is this nonsense? He shouts. According to him, there is no such place as Andorra. That place has been Taured for 1,000 years. The map is wrong, history is wrong, everything is wrong. The man doesn't look crazy, he looks terrified, as if he has fallen into a nightmare. The airport police don't know what to do. The man doesn't look like a criminal. The money on him, his checkbooks, his driver's license, they all verify the name Taured. He even gives the name of a company he is meeting in Tokyo. The police call the company. The company officials say, we don't know such a person. We have no such appointment. They call the hotel where the man said he would stay. The hotel says there is no such reservation. The man's reality does not match our reality. Desperate, the authorities decide to keep the man in custody at a nearby hotel until the investigation is complete. A room is booked on one of the top floors of a hotel. 2 police officers are stationed at the door to prevent escape. The only exit from the room is this door. The windows are locked and there is a 15-story drop below. No balcony, no fire escape. Throughout the night, the police guard the door. No sound comes from inside. Everyone waits for the morning. When morning comes, the authorities open the door to enter the room. And the scene they encounter turns this event from a crime drama into science fiction. The room is empty. The bed is undisturbed. The windows are still locked from the inside. The bathroom is empty. The man has vanished into thin air. But what is more terrifying is this: his passport, documents, and belongings, which were confiscated at the airport and kept in a locked safe at the police station, have also disappeared. It is as if the universe realized its mistake and pressed the undo button. The man, his belongings, and everything regarding his existence have been deleted from our dimension. So what happened in that hotel room that night? This story has been told in forums, books, and documentaries for years. The most popular theory? Parallel universes. According to Hugh Everett's many worlds theory, every possibility creates a new universe. In one universe, the Nazis won World War II. In another, the dinosaurs did not go extinct. Perhaps, on a frequency right next to us, between Spain and France, there is not Andorra, but a kingdom called Taured. According to the theory, this man somehow, perhaps while on the plane, perhaps when he landed at the airport, passed through one of those rare tiers where two universes intersect. Nothing had changed for him until he saw the map. Remember the Mandela effect. Millions of people remember the past differently. Maybe the man from Taured was the most extreme example of the Mandela effect. He didn't just bring a memory, he brought his entire physical existence to the wrong universe. Or was he a time traveler? Did he come from the future and was unaware of a time when maps changed? The theories are limitless. However, the story up to this point is the mysterious legend the internet loves. But what if I told you that this story is actually true, but not in the way you think? Take a deep breath, because now we pull back the curtain. Detectives and historians investigating the origins of this Taured legend, which has been told for years, reached a dusty file in the Japanese archives of the 1,950 seconds. And yes, the man stopped at the airport carrying a passport from a non-existent country was real. But his name was not the man from Taured. His name was John Zegrus. In 1960, not 1954 as in the story, a man named John Zegrus was caught trying to enter Tokyo with a fake passport. His passport was prepared so professionally that instead of Taured, it had phrases like United Arab Republic, places that existed at the time but were written incorrectly, or completely made up terms. According to some sources, the name of the city Tamanrasset appeared on the passport, and this name morphed into Taured as it passed from ear to ear. Zegrus was not a real interdimensional traveler, but an international con artist. He was so smart and so persuasive that he could convince officials of the existence of a country he invented, enough to make them doubt themselves. He spoke a language, he invented himself, used currency, he printed himself. What about the escape from the hotel room? The truth is, Zegrus was arrested and tried in Japanese courts. The court records still exist. In fact, when the judge sentenced him, Zegrus took a piece of broken glass in the courtroom and tried to slash his wrists, shouting, "I will die here!" So he didn't evaporate, he went to prison. Over time, the story of this con man spread by word of mouth. The unknown country detail was exaggerated, the prison detail turned into the escape from a locked room, and John Zegrus evolved into a mysterious traveler from Taured. Is the conclusion a disappointment? I don't think so. The story of John Zegrus is just as fascinating as parallel universes, because this man showed how fragile what we call reality actually is. With a piece of paper, a stamp pressed on it, and enough confidence, he could make people question a country that didn't exist. Maybe the reason we love the Taured legend so much is that deep down, we want to escape the boundaries of this world. The possibility of waking up one morning on a completely different map in a completely different life. This idea attracts us as much as it scares us. John Zegrus was a fraud, but the Taured legend he created lived longer than him and created its own reality. And who knows, maybe Zegrus was right. Maybe it was the maps that were wrong. What do you think? Is Taured really a parallel universe or history's biggest troll? Let's meet in the comments. If you love stories like this that push the boundaries of reality, subscribe to Intrigue's History and turn on notifications, because in the next video, maybe we will question your reality. Goodbye.